Hey YouTube, it's Chris again. This particular video is going to be more informational than instructional, and I'm here with my friend Abby from wherever she's from. I know where she's from. I'm just not saying where she's from. Say hi, Abby!
Hello.
And her voice is so adorable. Anyway, this I'm sorry, don't hit me.
You're fine.
But this particular video is going to be about iPods versus iPhones. Now, Abby, in your honest opinion, how do you think they differ?
Um, honestly, I have an iPod third generation touch, and all I can say is from what I've seen of the iPhone third generation, the iPod's a lot thinner and a little bit lighter. Um, uh, the iPod doesn't have a camera, which I think stinks, but um,
Get an
other than
iPhone.
yeah, if I can afford it, I would. Um, But other than that, they're pretty much the same. They work the same, use the same um, commands and or gestures, however you want to word it. But um, the other thing about the iPod is that it does not have a built-in microphone, so you have to have like one of those special headsets that only Apple makes. So I've heard. I've never been able to find another one that'll work, but
Like
yeah,
this
that's
one.
nice.
Now, functionality wise, do you think the iPod Touch and the iPhone are similar?
Yeah. Any app that you get for the iPod, you can get for the iPhone and vice versa. Um, except of course the ones that involve a camera.
Neener, neener, neener.
Oh, hush.
Okay, I Skyped Abby in here because I wanted an unbiased opinion just because, I'm the one making the video, so of course my opinion is probably going to flow with the video, so I wanted to get someone else's. Now, she's right on a few of those points that I covered. The iPod Touch, I'm holding up right here, and the iPhone, which I'm holding up right here, um, are similar. Their configurations are similar. The gestures are exactly the same. Um, I know that Abby, have you ever heard people say, "Well, the iPod Touch is just an iPhone without the phone"?
Yeah, I mean, I've even said that sometimes when you're trying to tell people the differences, it's really hard to think of them like off the top of your head. So I usually just say, it's pretty much just like the phone, except it's not a phone, it's just the iPod part of the options that you can do with the phone. There are apps that you can get that turns it into a phone, but you have to have
You have to have
Wi-Fi to use
Wi-Fi.
them.
Mm,
And
mm, mm.
I know there is an iPod, or I think it's the iPad, that has 3G, but
Ew,
you
iPad.
have
Anyway,
you have to pay like I think it's like $30 a month.
you might as well get the
And
phone.
right, exactly.
No, you're right in a sense that they both support a lot of the same apps, but you're wrong in a sense to say that the iPod Touch is just the iPhone without the phone. The iPod Touch is geared more toward entertainment. Um, like I'm gonna go ahead and open mine. On my dock, I have music, Facebook, iTunes, and Nike Plus iPod. Nike Plus iPod is not something that the iPhone has because, the iPhone is a lot more expensive than the iPod. I pay like 3 something for this and this is for like 6 something. Um the iPod is more likely to be used while working out, which is why Nike and Apple developed an app together. Hence Nike plus iPod. It is more for speedometer, a pedometer, and crap like. Leave me alone. Basically, my point is The iPod is made more for entertainment purposes. Now, iPhone, um, I noticed is not as streamlined as the iPod is. It's a little heavier, but to say that it is an iPod, to say the iPod is an iPhone without the phone is not that accurate. Sorry, Abby. I'm not trying to like bag on you or anything, but
You're cool.
the iPhone does not require Wi-Fi for internet, which means
Lucky.
you can get on YouTube anywhere. You can have access to GPS anywhere. I mean, what's the point in, standing in a hotspot and turning on your GPS? You can't go anywhere. It does have a built-in mic. This particular phone has two cameras. The back-facing camera, which shoots in HD, woohoo, and the front-facing camera, which is used for taking pictures of yourself, video chatting, stuff like that. The iPhone does have two built-in mics, I do believe. Um, the audio quality is excellent, by the way.
Would you quit saying tea?
Now the iPhone supports it does support a lot of the same apps, but the configuration is different. With the iPod Touch, you of course have to be connected to Wi-Fi. If you're not connected to Wi-Fi, a lot of the apps won't work, such as Google Earth. You can't really use iTunes that well. Um, you get my point. You can't use Safari, you can't use Skype, and even if
You
you do
can't do
use,
all your social networking stuff at all.
I would die without Facebook. But in
Messenger's
order
awesome.
in order to use Skype, you would have to use one of these special headset thingies. It's just a basic iPod earbuds, but if you look on this cable right here, there's a little white box. There's a little hole in the back of this box. That's where the microphone is. In the middle, there's a pause, up and down volume buttons. It's pretty simple. But with
And
the hmm?
sorry, where can you buy those if you can't find like do only Apple stores sell them or can you buy them at like
Oh
well
no, you can look online for several headsets that work with the iPhone. I'm not exactly sure on the specifics that I know, but I know that there are more that work with the iPhone slash iPod Touch. Um, plus to the iPhone versus the iPod is that not only do you get Wi-Fi anywhere, but you get a lot more options on this phone than you get with the iPod. 938. I'm gonna go ahead and open it here and exit this text messages. Exit these text messages. Double tap to open. App Store. iPod. Safari. Double tap to open. With Safari. App Store. 3 new items. On the iPhone versus the iPod. If you're connected to Wi-Fi, you can actually connect to Wi-Fi from both devices. But if you're connected, where's Safari? Anyway,
it's at the bottom.
I changed my dock around. But
Oh, I didn't know you could change those. Okay.
you should watch my videos then.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I'm having internet issues right now with Mozilla, but we'll get to that later.
I love my iPhone. Anyway,
Oh, hush.
with Safari on the iPod versus the iPhone, you not only have access to internet anywhere, but you can, like, when I first got this phone, the guy in the store is like, "Can you give me an email and a password?" I'm like, for what?" He's like, "I'm going to attach your iPhone to your Gmail account." And I'm like, "That's so cool." So every time I get an email, I always don't have to be connected to Wi-Fi or on my computer to get it. It'll just notify me. Same with Facebook, same with Skype. The iPhone is a lot more portable than the iPod Touch, but if you don't want to have to worry about paying that extra $300 and signing a contract with AT&T or Verizon, or jailbreaking it and signing it with someone else, whichever you decide to do, you can go ahead and pick up an iPod Touch. Um, This is a third generation, but the iPod Touch fourth generation does have a built-in microphone, does have dual cameras like the iPhone 4 does, but unlike the iPhone, it cannot have internet anywhere. Um, the airplane modes. I don't really know the different, well, why they put airplane mode on the iPod Touch. Honestly, at first I thought it was just a glitch, but what that does is it turns off Wi-Fi and it turns off Bluetooth. Airplane mode on the iPhone turns off Wi-Fi, turns off Bluetooth, restricts internet access. You can't access 3G, you can't make calls, you can't get text messages, no email alerts, no Facebook alerts, nothing. It's just essentially an iPod Touch when you put it on airplane mode. Um, if you have any other comments about this video, anything you want me to add, any other differences or similarities that you notice with the two devices, just go ahead and let me know. Abby, do you have any closing remarks?
No, you pretty much covered it all.
Yay me! But again, thanks for watching. I'll be posting soon.